Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we've just done the manufacturing PMI. Hopefully yours information looks like that. What's next? Next on the list is services PMI. Sorry about this, I think my head covers some of this. No, it's okay. Next on the list is services PMI. Pretty straightforward, similar sort of thing. So what I do, rather than build, and you can do a new sheet and build it from scratch, and obviously I've shown you how to do it for manufacturing. If you want, in fact, why don't you do it as an exercise? Try and build, this is what you want to end up with, something like that, services PMI, okay, that's manufacturing, services. Try and build it if you want, without me showing you how to do it, as a fresh spreadsheet like that. Let me just delete that, and start from scratch. Try and build it using exactly the same, you can get the data from, sorry about that, the data from the website, which I'd already shown you, seems to have, yeah, there we go. So that's where we left off, didn't we, in the last kind of module. And instead of services, manufacturing, you can get the data from the services tab, right? So can you see, let's close that down, sorry. Where services, there you can see services, find services, open it up and do the same sort of process if you want, okay? I'm going to do it anyway with you. Obviously, some of you won't want to or be able to do that on your own, and that's fine, okay? It's fine. We're all here to learn. There's so many things I am useless at, okay? But if someone shows me, then I can become good at those. That's the problem, right? And I hate to criticize, but it's true. Half the garbage you see from these trading channels on YouTube, they don't show you none of this stuff, the proper way to do it. So you're lost, you're doomed, basically. But at least if someone shows you. So look, don't worry. If you can't do it, don't be embarrassed and think, oh my God, I can't. Don't, okay? If you can't do it on your own, I'm going to show you how to do it and you can copy me, okay? Don't worry about that. We're not here to become Excel wizards. We're here to interpret the data. So don't worry if you can't do it on your own. The way that I like to do it on my own, when I'm copying something, as in, the same format, rather than build it from scratch, if you can, try it, just to save time, is I will copy the tab across. So when I press Control and then this manufacturing tab, drag it across, can you see it created another tab for me? Okay, now you can move this along a little bit so I can see all three tabs. Can you see I've now got the monthly calendar, I've got manufacturing data, but I've also got manufacturing data again. So it's called it tab number 2 of manufacturing data, but obviously it's not manufacturing data. I want this to now be services data, so I'm going to rename this services PMI, get rid of that and hit enter. Okay, so can you see initially I had manufacturing, I've now got services, but I've got all the same stuff. So I only need to now go and change some of this data around, and you can do it the long-winded way, the way we did manufacturing and start from scratch. I'm not going to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I'm going to change the data. So right now I've still got manufacturing data in here because all it's done is just copied this tab and given me a carbon copy, and it's got the same chart. I don't want this chart, right, anymore. I don't want manufacturing. I want this to be services. But rather than starting from scratch and changing formatting and going through the whole palaver all over again, I'm going to make my life a bit easier, and I'm just going to use all the same formatting and just change the data. Okay, so what's the latest data? Again, you need to find what the latest release for you is. For me, it happens to be Friday, December the 3rd, 2020. Okay, we're in, 2021. I lost my marbles there for a second. 2021, I'm now in January 2022. You might be in December 2022, you might be in December 2023, you might be in March 2024. You need to go back and find the latest release for you and then go back 2 years back to that. So first thing you want to do is grab the latest release. So can you see, for me, if I go to next month, which is for me at this point in time, Jan 2022, and I go and find the services data here, can you see nothing's been released? There's no actual. I don't know what it is. I can't create a graph for something that hasn't been released. So I need to go back one to December. And for me, that's this. So I copy that, copy. I'm going to replace the manufacturing data. Okay, paste, match destination formatting. Okay, so now I've got services data in there. Need to be very careful. All the history is still manufacturing data. So I'm going to go down. Okay, this is services data now. Okay, and I'm going to copy a whole bunch of stuff. Remember, we want the last 24 releases, a couple of years. So I don't care right now. I'm going to copy a whole bunch of them. Go here, release date, which is that. Actual forecast previous, matches that. Actual forecast previous. I've already put the top one in. Be careful not to copy and paste it in there because I've already put it in. In fact, I made a mistake, didn't I? Let's take one step back. Okay, so we copied this data, 69.1, 64.9, 66.7. Can you see it there? 69.1, etc., etc. The date is not Wednesday the 1st, is it? Because that was manufacturing data. You see that? It's the 3rd. So make sure you type this date in. For me, it's December the 3rd. So I'm going to put 03/12. For me, it's 2021. Again, it could be any date for you. The formatting is already done because I'm not starting from scratch. So basically this, and make sure that the month is correct. Obviously, it's for November, released in December, as we discussed. That whole line is now done and dealt with, okay? You can even, basically, just remember, you don't need to touch that line. We now need to populate all the rest of them. Okay, so I'm going to copy that. Just copy a whole bunch of them. Ideally, you want 24, but I don't need to count them. I can just delete any extras I have. Okay, I'm going to go down one row, right? Because I've already done that one. Go down one row, paste, match. See, I can do source formatting. I don't want to copy the same formatting. I want destination formatting. There you go. You almost, did you see the graph change there? Look at the graph change. Let me just do Control Z. See that? Control Y. You see the graph changing? Okay, so we're starting to get services data now. It's because, and I'll show you that with a bigger screen. Do you see? It's now starting to look like my services. Okay, so if I do Control Z, okay, that's manufacturing data, and with the one data point there, 69.1 that we put in. If I do Control Y, that's now services data. Okay, so let's make that. Delete all the extra bits that we have. Delete. Okay, got rid of that. The only issue is, do you remember we had to change all this formatting because Excel doesn't recognize when you copy that, say November 4, 2020. According to Excel, that's just text. It doesn't recognize this as a date, so it won't reformat it and tell me it's a Friday, for example. So again, you'll need to type these dates in manually, all right? So just do that. That's literally it. How hard can it be? That's all you got to do, and then you're done. So November the 3rd. Obviously, I'm doing it according to my UK format that I like my dates in. You can do 11/3/21 if you're in the US, or you have different date format. For me, it's the day first. So it'll be 3 November 21. Can you see it gave me the day now? Because now Excel recognized, look up there, it recognizes this as a date and no longer text. So it's converted it into that format I asked it to, format cells. Right? Do you remember we did this in the previous module? October 5th. 5th of October 21, 3rd of September 21, and so on and so forth. Alright, so I'm going to stop the recording there, let you guys do it, and I'll be back in a sec. I want you guys to do this, so pause it, do all of this, and I'll see you in a sec. Okay, so come back. Anyway, so I've done this. It took me like literally 30 seconds. Okay, so hopefully you've been able to do that as well. You can now see it's in the format I prefer. Okay, so I can see the days. You know, typically I just like to have it in this format. Okay, it's up to you if you want it that way. We need to change this, don't we, right at the top, because this is on the 3rd business day. I copied that across from manufacturing, didn't I? So just copy that, match destination formatting. Okay, so it's on the third business day, because remember, manufacturing is on the first, it's on the third. And again, you can copy a lot of this information over, you can make this kind of slightly the way you want it, but I'm pretty much done with the information here. I don't really need it, so I can expand this. This is services, don't forget, it's not manufacturing. Okay, and there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You don't even need to change anything, the format, it's all done for you because we already did it when we built the manufacturing. Can you see? It's identical. Okay, so you've now got exactly the same as what I'm looking at. I forgot to do. See, little fiddly bits, sometimes forget to change. Change that to services. If I could spell services. Okay, so that is pretty much it. And then I do like to have it a bit like that, obviously, as I'm going through them, but it's up to you how you want it. So that is it really. You know, you've now got manufacturing, you've got services, pretty much got majority of that week. We will do payrolls in a moment, which is a little bit more complicated because we got unemployment rate and payroll, so you want two on one page, but pretty much, to be honest, it's not complicated at all. It's unbelievable. You've now got more access to information at your fingertips than pretty much every trader out there. And how hard was that? You know, it's amazing. You know, when someone shows you, I know you're all capable of doing this, you need someone to show you, you know, and that's why I love this stuff. Once I've shown you, you don't need me anymore. You can do all of the analysis and everything. Obviously, we'll do some analysis, don't worry, on our own. But my point is, you can then use this information in the right way instead of, you know, trying to see in the dark. You now know straight away. Look at the services sector recently, been punching, right? It's no wonder that the market's been buoyant, constantly hitting all-time highs. Now, when you come to do this, you may not be in the same economic cycle as me, and you may be below 50. So you know straight away, oh, you know what? The services economy has been weak for some time, and we're going to talk about this. My point is, you can see how powerful having this, no economic calendar, anything is going to give you this. You need to lay this out in this way so you can see straight away. I also can see the data has been surprising economists recently. Why? Because the last three releases have smashed the forecast. Can you see that? By 5, by 5, by 2, by 3. It's really, really punchy, this number, and it reflects here, reflects in the versus forecast. We're above 50 persistently. Can you start to see? I can develop a picture. You know, people ask me, how do you do your institutional Sundays? How do you get to? This is how I do it. Okay, I lay data out in such a way that makes my life easier, that I can do some sensible analysis, and it isn't just, you know, as I already said, just numbers on a page all over the place. I'm not going to help you to do that. You need to do it this way. Let's do the final thing which we mentioned, which is let's just do the sense check on the data. Do you remember? We're going to make sure that the data looks right. So go down. Where's the graph gone? There. Click the graph tab and close that. So again, let's do that again. Find the data. Click the graph. Okay. Remember what I said. Find the last data point. So I had a brain freeze last time, didn't I? It was December 2019. So for me, when you come to do it, obviously it could be a couple years after that, I don't know, but scroll forward to December 2019. Let's compare it. There we go. It's exactly the same. Can you see it? Goes up, comes down, dip, up, down, dip, up again. Starts to really come off sort of mid 2021. There we go, mid 2021. Okay, remember our graph is actually more accurate than this, because if you actually look at that data point, right, all you got to do is hover over it. It's March, right? 63.7. They've got it as April 63.7, right? They've got April. And you know why? Because it was released in April. Don't forget, we said this last time about manufacturing. This one, 63.7. Released in April, but it's actually March. It's for March, right? It's March services data. So actually ours is correct. This is March. In March, the services sector smashed through 60 and got to 63.7. This was released, they've got the release date. It's actually March, smashed through, and you can see it there. Got above 60, flatlined a little bit, and then the last two have just absolutely gone to records. Absolutely gone to records, and you can see the same pattern there. Okay, see it taking off there, taking off there. Sense check. Okay, so we're pretty much there. I'm very happy that that is correct, and hopefully you agree with that. Just make sure, I'm going to leave that up there so you can just double check, make sure. Obviously your figures may be very different to this. Don't let that put you off. Don't forget, it could be different points in time. It could be a variety of reasons. Your data doesn't need to match mine. It needs to, you can do your sense check here if you want. Just make sure everything is aligned. Something hasn't gone wrong. I make mistakes all the time. What I'm going to do, just get a glass of water and take a break after you do all of these. It might take you an hour because you're doing it on your own. This I've just done in a few minutes because I'm pretty good at Excel and I do this all the time, this kind of stuff, at least historically. I'm going to take a break. I'm going to cut the modules into every single data piece, probably, unless I change my mind later, just so it becomes digestible for you. So for example, you'll be able to build manufacturing, then you're going to build services. What's next for us? We'll go to payrolls, right? So we'll build payrolls together, we'll take a break. We'll do CPI, take a break. Retail sales, take a break, and so on and so forth. FOMC calendar, take a break. Advanced GDP. So I'm going to split them all out so it's easy for you to build it. And obviously listening to me talk for so long can obviously give anyone a headache. So need a break from that. So hopefully that was useful for you. You've now got the manufacturing. It's incredible, right? You've got the manufacturing and services sector at the touch of the fingertips, right? Bet you never thought you'd have that before you started. So there you do, and it's only just started. You can have labour and payrolls and all of this coming. So I'll see you in the next module where we'll do the payrolls.